hope this finds you well. Do apologise for the technical quality. It's a bit tricky, although we've managed to crack sending messages back in time for a while now. It's still a little bit tricky. Right, well, how am I doing here? I'm doing pretty well. Well, actually, I'm visiting London. And it's March, but it's still freezing. So I'm wearing, indoors. So I'm visiting some friends indoors. Here I am recording this. But I'm visiting friends in London because they're trying to undergo the changes in London that, are very difficult to do in mainland cities. Where I normally live, I live in a beautiful place in Maldives, and we managed to induce changes in the Maldives that are quite frankly unbelievable. Maldives is now the leading edge in terms of social innovation as well as environmental change. They've managed to hit the goals in terms of parity, in terms of what did you call it back then, the carbon footprint. Well, they've demonstrated that, but they've gone beyond that. They're now a catalyst for major global change. It's an incredible marriage of, when we started doing this way back in 2011, we didn't really think that it was actually possible to marry the open source principles, which is mainly found on the internet, to actual real world activities, where people are actually, in a gift economy. But it's been amazing. So here we are now, 2020, and it's just going really smoothly. There's no locks. We don't really use money. It's basically a reputation system that's used on the islands. Anybody who's visiting takes part in it, and then we assist them by giving them the software so that they can induce the change of effectively a gift economy in their own world. But that's a little bit tricky to do because obviously, in a city, there's a lot of more history. So, for example, London, or in fact in Tokyo. Now, that brings us to the point. Very recently, we've come up with this. People in Tokyo regarding food and food shortages. Now, of course, the global community are answering that, as we always have. When we hear of disasters that occur, it brings out the best of us in humanity. We're very generous. In fact, if I get my history right, in 2010, I believe there were several terrible events, tsunamis, earthquakes, and it just demonstrated that we do have the capacity to be really generous to deal with disasters when they occur. But of course, what we've been doing on the Maldives is that we're not waiting for the disaster to occur where effectively the islands are flooded. What we're doing is we're being proactive about it, and we're taking the stand on the islands to make sure that they don't, which means that we have to induce the change globally so that the ice caps don't melt and the water doesn't rise. It's just no option for us. So not only do we have to induce the change within ourselves, the islanders and our collection of islands that we actually have to induce the change globally. So, regarding the quality of change that we've got, the social change that's going on, it's a bit trickier to do in a city, just because, institutions and the way that people work. However, we're still interested in this problem prevention. So although we are answering, and we will obviously, produce the food and get it over there to Tokyo in a sustainable manner, that is really a secondary issue. 2020 is the year where we are coming together. And it's a bit early, but it's looking good. Not only do we have enough trust amongst ourselves, the trick is we have a lot of evidence showing that we can actually get together in large numbers. So, for example, the recent thing that's happened in San Francisco, where they've actually got rid of all kinds of cars, and I think they've just gone for public transport and cycles in the centre. The whole city. That's a massive change. And hopefully other cities are going to follow suit. So there's lots of evidence that we are managing the level of changes that we require. But I don't know if we're going to get there by the end of the year. We're needing to get 1 billion people involved, throughout the world. It doesn't matter what company, it doesn't matter how powerful, it doesn't matter if you're in the government, it doesn't matter where you are in a structure, if you're at the bottom, at the top, it doesn't really matter where you are. It's whether you take part in this thing. And if we get enough people vertically aligned across all media, then we might actually have a chance of pulling this off. So this is just a quick message back to you guys in 2010, wishing you luck. I hope that if I get this correct, we're trying to send it directly to on the internet to a thing called urgentevoke.com, which is, I think, one of the first mashups, real world mashups, where it's a game, it's a virtual game, and yet it introduces real world situations. Now, I believe it started, and I think it only ran for about 2 months, but it kind of indicates what is possible in a short period of time. It's to do with the numbers of people that align. So I just wanted to send something back. I vaguely remember this event that happened back then, so I just wanted to send back this message just to encourage people to take part in this event, take part in the game, enjoy it, and see what is possible in a short period of time. And based on the events that happened in 2010, we managed to go to the Maldives, and we managed to do many other things. So it really depends on participation. So enjoy.